Hello everyone. In our last class we had discussed about our constitution. We had discussed about our constitution and about the body who made our constitution, that is Constituent Assembly. Then we had discussed about the composition of the Constituent Assembly, and we had discussed the framing of the Indian Constituent Assembly. So today we are going to know about the objective resolutions. Do you know the meaning of objective resolution? So objective resolution is nothing. It is the enshrining the aspiration and the values of the constitution maker. So it is the aspiration and values of the constitution maker. Is it clear? What is objective resolution? Objective resolutions are the aspiration and the values of the constitution makers. Under this, the people of India were guaranteed social, economic, political justice, equality, and fundamental freedoms. So these are the rights which are guaranteed by the constitution. So the people were guaranteed social rights, economic rights, political justice, equality and fundamental freedoms. And this resolution was adopted on 22nd January 1947. Clear? What is objective resolution? And it became the preamble to the constitution. So nowadays what we call as a preamble, that is actually of the objective resolution. Clear? Is it clear? So it become the preamble to the country. So here you can see the preamble. So this is actually the objective resolution. So these are the, here you can see, we the people of India having solemnly resolved to constitution India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure all its citizens justice, liberty, equality, fraternity. And in our Constituent Assembly 26 November 1949 do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this constitution. So on 26th November 1949 the constitution was made and it was enacted, or it came into force from 1950. So don't be confused. It was made 1949 or adopt, but it came into force in the year of 1950, 26 January. And before 26 January, if you see, it's almost 2 months before. 26 November 1949 it was made, it was adopted by the Constituent Assembly, but it came into force from 26 January 1950. Clear? So what is objective resolution? Hopefully this is also clear to you. Now this historic objective resolution was moved by our Honorable Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru on 13 December 1946. For the first time, Jawaharlal Nehru, he was introduced on 13th November 1946 and was adopted unanimously on 26 January 1947. It served as a roadmap for the constitution. It shows the road. It shows the values and the aspirations, values of all the peoples, aspiration of all the peoples. It guaranteed the rights. So it acts as like a road map. Clear? Now the if you see, the assembly was divided into 8 major committees. The important ones were the drafting committee. Among these 8 major committees, the Constituent Assembly, it was divided into 8 major committees. And among these 8 major committees, there was one important committee, that is drafting committee. Drafting committee, what is drafting committee? Who draft the constitution, who made the constitution. They are called drafting committee. And there were many other committees which are also very important, like the Committee on the Fundamental Rights, the Union Power Committees, the Union Constitution Committees. Clear? Now next one is drafting committee. So which is very important, as I told you earlier also, the drafting committee, they prepared our constitution, or they made the constitution. They bundle up all those laws. Whatever the laws we know, they bundle up those laws in a law book, that is called constitution. So the chairman of the drafting committee was Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So who was the chairman? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. So after India gained independence, the pace for drafting the constitution picked up. So here you can see the first draft was ready by February 1948. The Indian people, for the first time, the draft was ready by or on February 1948. The Indian people were allowed to deliberate on the first draft, put their opinions and suggestions to the drafting committee when the assembly met in November. When assembly met in November, so the Indian peoples, they were allowed to deliberate their opinion and their suggestion to the drafting committee. For the first time when the draft was made, the Indian people, they were allowed to give their opinions and suggestions when they met in November 1948. In November 1948, the draft was considered clause by clause. This was completed by 1949. It takes 1 year. And the third and the final draft was ready by November 1949, when the President of India signed the Constitution officially and making it a legal document. So hopefully you have remembered 26 November 1949, when the President of India, when he had signed the Constitution officially for making it as a legal document, the Constitution became a legal document. So the first draft, February 1948, second draft, it considered up to October 1949, and afterwards the final draft was ready on November 1949, and specially it was adopted on 26 November 1949, and it takes almost, I told you earlier also in my last video, it takes 2 years, 11 months, 17 days. Clear? 2 years, 11 months, 17 days. Clear? Now, commencement of the Constitution. The Constitution of India came into force on 26 January 1950, as we discussed earlier. A day specially selected. Why we selected 26 January? Why we are not selecting 22nd January, or why we are not selecting 15th January or any other days? It is selected because for its historical significance. Do you know the historical significance? If you don't know, then today I will tell you. This date was celebrated annually as Independence Day. 26th January, it was celebrated as annually as Independence Day. Nowadays we are celebrating 15th August as Independence Day, as India was independent on 15th August, but on beforewards on 26th January, before independence, when we were not got independence, on that time 26th January annually it was selected as a Independence Day. The date 26th January, it had a historical significance. This date and ever since the famous resolution regarding complete independence of the country was passed by the Indian National Congress at Lahore session in December 1929. So, in Lahore session in the year of 1929, Lahore session Lahore session of Indian National Congress, December 1929. For the first time, Indian National Congress or the Congress Party, they took the resolution regarding complete independence. They took the resolution of complete independence of the country, not certain independence, not partially independence, complete independence of the country. For the first time on 26th January in Lahore session in December 1929, they took the resolutions for complete resolution. And in the month of December, remember this point, and the first Independence Day was celebrated on December 29, 1929. In the year of 1929, December, in Lahore session, Indian National Congress took the resolution for complete independence. And after 1 month, means in January, 26th January 1930, clear? After 1 month, they celebrated that day as their Independence Day. So, for the first time, it was celebrated as the Independence Day. Thereafter, Independence Day had been celebrated on this day till the independence of our country. So, for that only we choose 26th January as the day for enforce our constitution, and it was that January 26, 1950 or the 26th January, this day is celebrated as the Republic Day. Do you know the word Republic? Do you know the meaning of the word Republic? Republic means where the ruler is not selected or the ruler is not become the based on the hereditary. Means Modi's sons become the next prime minister. We don't have that kind of a system. That is called monarchical system. Republic means who are capable, who has ability, they will become the prime minister or the ruler of the country. We choose our ruler. The common people, the people or the citizen of the country has the power to choose their ruler. So, here the ruler are selected by the wish or by the vote of the people or the common people or the citizen of the country. They were not selected just because their father is a ruler, so they will become the ruler. Clear? So, republic, the term republic means that the ruler will selected by the common people. They were not selected by the crown of their father. It's not based on the hereditary. Clear? Okay. Today this much only we will talk, and okay, that's it. Thank you.